you so much for being part of this Motown India show. In fact, you are more of an expert in this electric and electronic architecture part. Now, things are really changing. As you mentioned, as I read in your press release also, it's no more, a vehicle is no more of transportation from A to B. It's much more, it offers so much, entertainment and safety and controls and a whole lot of things. And now we're getting into autonomous driving also. So what is happening in that? Is it an exciting phase for you? What are the new developments, and is it really challenging or is it scary?
Yeah, it's probably the most exciting times that I can remember in the automotive industry right now. So the industry is in a transformation, as we all have read. The drive for increased safety, the movement towards consumer connectivity, and the integration of consumer electronics into the vehicle, and also the industry demand and megatrends for driving better fuel efficiency. All of this is impacting vehicle electrical architectures in a significant way. So we're seeing some very exciting things happening in the industry that's driving a whole transformation in terms of the technology, and in particular a change in vehicle software requirements in order to drive this. So for example, in the area of fuel efficiency, the drive towards electrification is moving into hybrid electric vehicles, EV, 48-volt vehicles. So it's moving our product portfolio in a completely different direction. While we're downsizing so many products, we're also increasing the size of products in order to move a significant amount of power. And what's also coming with it is new opportunities for product portfolio to support these megatrends. And yes, active safety is really dominating our development activities right now. The move towards more autonomous driving be driven by the need and the necessary need in the industry to reduce fatalities. With more vehicles coming on the roads every year, it's going to get much more difficult for the automotive industry to protect people. So we're in a transformation of moving functionality from the driver to the vehicle, and what comes with that is a significant amount of development in the form of electronics, active safety features, sensing systems, and so forth.
Okay, but when we talk of just the E&E space, typically how many different kinds of parts are made? And which all join together to actually get under the hood or other parts of a vehicle.
Oh.
How many parts are there?
Thousands of parts, depending on the level of vehicle. So the numbers of parts and the content will vary from premium vehicles to full-size trucks and SUVs down to smaller A-segment vehicles. But the electrical system is extremely complex. There are miles and miles of cable in every vehicle, and hundreds of connection systems and thousands of terminals in every vehicle. And all of these parts need to come together and packaged, not only designed electrically, but have to be packaged in the vehicle in a reliable way to achieve the quality standards that we've come to be expected to provide.
As functions change within a vehicle, let me give you an example. Suppose a car which comes with a particular kind of entertainment system adds on a few safety parts, like a safety bag or some more other critical parts. What happens? How do you have to reinvent the whole thing or redesign the whole thing, or is it just an add-on which happens? How does it work?
Well, it depends on how you originally designed the electrical architecture. So a lot of the architectures that we're developing now are scalable, so that they have the ability to add on features and functionality. So, we're developing electronics and computers today that have the versatility and the ability through software downloads, perhaps even over-the-air downloads, to change functionality. We're working on computers today that will ultimately be used on the platform for a fully autonomous vehicle. So the architecture, that's why it's very important to think through your long-term plan. And with electrical architectures, you can design them to be scalable. They always come with effort and considerable development when you're repackaging vehicles to add functionality. But the best way to do it is with the early design.
Okay, you talked about being scalable. Does it also mean that a company like Delphi needs to be a little ahead of the curve in terms of technology offerings? Because, or are you dependent on what the OEM does, a vehicle manufacturer does? Or are you doing a hard work while they're making their vehicles and future vehicles? Are you also in your little room up there developing new stuff so that you can offer them before they perhaps start making? How does it work?
Yeah, well, what we see is usually with customers, you work on custom solutions for those OEM customers. So the architectures may be unique to their designs, their vehicle styling, and so forth. But Delphi also, we do our own development, and we build our own portfolio of products and capabilities that are become building blocks, so to speak, that we can offer to our customers. So, for example, we're not a car manufacturer, but we recently built an autonomous vehicle that we drove from San Francisco to New York City, about 99% driverless. So we took on this task in order to create the capability and to also generate data and information by going through that experience. And it's this development and this experience that we will share and pass on to our OEMs when we have the opportunity to co-develop their electrical systems. Similar situation with 48 volts. New trend for mild hybrids moving towards 48 volt systems, and we've developed our own 48 volt vehicle on the platform of a 12 volt system.
Okay, and so when we move on to a 48 volt, does it mean that every part that goes into a system changes in its?
No, not right away. So you'll see some of the systems will convert to 48 volts. Some of the, maybe your air conditioning system, for example. Over time, the advantage and the opportunity with 48 volts is that all of the subsystems can convert to 48 volts, you can drive significant improvement in fuel efficiency because you're not driving the power of these subsystems from the engine. You're able to do it electrically. So, and there may be some trade-offs. There may be some certain elements of the vehicle, maybe infotainment, that may stay 12 volt just because of practical reasons. So the cost-benefit analysis will always be something that the OEMs have to consider when making decisions. But we see that over time you're going to see more and more systems convert to 48 volts in the area of the mild hybrid segment.
I have a very India-specific question. I'm sure. How critical is India and in your whole entire Delphi operations, especially when it comes to India?
Yeah, well, I'll answer and then I'll ask Arun to elaborate too. India is extremely critical for me. So in our business. So the India market, is a high growth market, and we're expecting a significant amount of our revenue in the future to come from local India automotive opportunities. So we've made a decision a long time ago, over 15 years ago or so, to invest in India and in the capability for product development. And we were able to do that effectively by leveraging doing work for other regions with our local capability here, but it's also positioning us well so that we can do full service design and development here locally. So the reason for this event here today is our expansion of our connection systems engineering site here in Shanghai, where we've just expanded the R&D facility, and we've just added full-service automotive testing equipment capability. So we're now able to develop here locally just about any connection system in our portfolio of products at Delphi right here, from product design to simulation and analysis to tool design and tool build, which we do all of our tool build here in India as well, and then we can do full service validation testing. So the capability that we have here is growing. It's strategic, and we're going to continue to invest. On the non-component side, though, we've been in India for many years on the software, so we've got a very large software team here in India that does development work for global Delphi Automotive. Anything you'd like to add on that?
So I will just add from the, as Chris has said, from the engineering capability, now we have under EA 2 technical center. One is, as he said, that DCS, which we have now upgraded and added that validation lab, and then that's other is for wire harness, that is for DEEDS, that is in Pune. Then our manufacturing capability has also grown from 1 plant. Now we have a 3 plant to support wire harness, which is located in now north, south, and west of the country, which are the hubs for the automotive industry. And then our connection system plant as well as the global tool room. So this is the capability with time we have invested, and we are growing.
Okay, and even your R&D team has grown.
Yes, and our R&D team is already doing the advanced engineering work for the globe. So their capability is already, their skill level is there. So now closely we are working with the OEM as a co-designer and supporting them.
Okay. Chris, with your vast experience and you've also seen in your lifetime how the industry has evolved in such a big way. I mean, I'm sure when you were young and when I was young, cars were so different, and now cars do almost everything you want. It's a refrigerator, it's a music system, it's what you name it, it's that. And where's it all going? I mean, do you think envisage a time when cars will fly? I mean, where can one's imagination go? Because things are happening so rapidly. Can you tell me? I mean, I'm usually doing all the engineering work and all the smart work. So what's really happening in that field?
Yeah, well, I see for sure that the vehicles are going to be much more heavily driven by software. So the influences of consumer electronics, the communication from the vehicle to the infrastructure, feeding information from the cloud to the vehicle that will drive behaviors and safety systems. We're going to continue to see evolution in that area. I can't say right now at what point we're going to see vehicles on the road with no drivers. I think there's a lot of challenges in the industry to build the infrastructure and to build the safety systems in the vehicles before we're ready for that. But I can tell you things are moving fast, and it's an amazing time in our business, because we're able to now leverage tech companies and technology all around the world to come together to provide automotive system solutions. So, the ability to communicate from a car to the cloud, for example, and the software that goes with that is going to be incredibly important. The challenges of cybersecurity. So as we get more dependent on over-the-air downloads to vehicles to upgrade software and safety systems, we've got to be able to protect the integrity of the software. So that's going to be a big challenge. the level of government regulation around the world is also going to drive the speed of some of these advancements as well. So I think this is it's as exciting of a time as I can remember in the business, and the technology is moving at light speeds. So our position is we're going to be ready for it, and we're investing appropriately in the technologies that we believe are going to be needed for our OEM customers in the near term and the long term.
Okay, just a couple of more questions for Aru.
Sure.
One is, we're moving now, as Chris also mentioned, you did autonomous driving and driverless car went from one place to another in the US. Technologically, a lot of things are happening, as we all know. But India as a country, with its present conditions and whatever has been forecast, is it absorbing that technology in the way the Western world is doing, or it will take quite a long time before it matches up?
See, the government, that the regulation for they are saying to 2020, they want that the Norm 6 to get implemented, which is still under discussion. If that they're going to implement, and definitely few of the technology they have to implement, like mandatory airbags, then your sensors, rear view camera, at least for parking perspective. And if you will see the SUV, most of the SUVs are having with the sensors and parking rear view cameras which can assess them for parking perspective. And then fuel economy regulations will also be part of that. And definitely then in that case, which is still under discussion, then these few of the, I will not say 100%, but yes, mandatory things like related to safety, definitely they have to implement. And that's the on which they are discussing. And as I said, rear view camera is really in demand with sensors, and most of the car manufacturer and they are discussing or they are already implementing it.
Yeah. And since most of the Indian vehicle manufacturers, whether it's mainly cars we're talking about, they're also exported to many of the developed countries in Europe and all. And I'm sure products which are made by Delphi also embedded in them and they go
Yes.
out. So does it mean that they're at par in quality and function?
Yes. Yes, all our manufacturing facilities and all our products are of the same bill of process. As Chris has said, our all engineering centers are linked with the Globe Engineering. So engineering is common, it's a one team. So they follow the same specification in all the engineering places, even though we have standard specification of the equipment, either in engineering or manufacturing. So the quality of the product is same, either you take from India or take from Shanghai or take from Europe. And from India, we are giving to the local car manufacturer. We supply product out of India manufacturing back to Japan, back to US and Europe.
Okay. I remember around, maybe 2 decades back or something like that, I had gone as a young journalist to the US, and I was a little lost out because at that time the Japanese and the Chinese journalists were the ones who were all active, and we were just kind of growing.
Yeah.
And I remember visiting a plant in Kokomo or something like that. Yeah, this
Kokomo E&S plant. E&S plant.
Yeah, it was an extremely sophisticated plant, I remember, and India was still growing at that stage. Do you see a lot of focus for companies, international, global companies like Delphi, now shifting some of the critical work into India? Is it happening, especially in the last perhaps a decade or less? Is that happening?
So the engineering work, yes, we have supported from our, like in India now we have 3 technical center.
Okay.
So one Kokomo Technical Center which have started was supporting there from TCI Bangalore. We have started in 1995 with around 10 or 15 engineers. Now they have almost around 950 engineers, and they are doing all active safety programming and infotainment programming from there for the global programs. And then, as I said to you, we have added 2 more technical center, DCS, which is now strategically going to grow them, and then wire harness technical center. So answer to your question is yes, we are doing a work for region and for globe, and strategy from the Delphi strategy perspective, yes, there are opportunity to further grow them.
Okay, and one teeny mini question. That's can you tell me briefly about the event which you're here for, the Chennai? This thing. What exactly is it all about?
So I will request Chris to take this answer.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. How about if we let Marcus take this question?
Marcus, there you go, Marcus.
Thank you very much. So the reason why we are today in Chennai was the reopening of the enlarged facility in Chennai, which we do have. Chennai is a global engineering center, and we are using engineering capabilities for the local market, but also for the global market. So components which are being designed here are for local market, for local customers and for local needs. But we are also using the same methodology, the same capability and the skills which we do have here for our global tool room and use it globally, also for global customers. So the methodology which we do have here, the capabilities which are here, do start from advanced development to serial production to over tool manufacturing to the serial production. So the entire chain of the entire engineering process we're gonna do here in Chennai. In fact, we did start like 15 years ago. So this journey started 15 years ago with normal print improvements. And we improved this capability over the last 15 years. And now I'm very honored to say and very proud to say that the Indian team has really picked up the needed capabilities to serve the globe out of India.
Okay, and how many people are approximately working here?
Currently, we do have over 100 people working in this environment.
Okay, thank you so much. I guess that completes the whole thing.
Thank you very much.